Hello, everybody. I'm Taz. I'm an alcoholic and I'm in Savannah, Georgia. And my sobriety date is May 11th, 2021. So I have over a year. All right, tell you a little bit about me. I got into the program late. I'm not as young as some of you. I had a good childhood. I have three brothers, two parents, had a fairly nice home from birth till about, I'd say 12, maybe a little younger than that. And then my parents started having problems. My parents ended up divorcing, and when I was in 8th grade, they separated. The divorce was not final until my sophomore year of high school. So I ended up going to live with my aunt who had two children still at home. My cousin that was a girl was older than me. Her brother we were the same age, but he was in a grade lower than me. And my girl cousin was in a grade older than me. But I went to live with them because me and her went to the same all girls high school. I went to all girls high school. I was raised Catholic, so religion was bred in me from birth. I am still Catholic. I do believe in a higher power, and I do believe in God. That's my higher power. But whatever y'all choose it to be is what it is. Over the years, my God person has changed. And whether you're Catholic, I'm more or less Christian than Catholic because I believe in a higher power. All right, alcoholism runs in my family. I've come to find out as an adult. But I didn't really have to want for anything. When my parents got divorced, I went and lived with my father, and it was me and my brother right above me. We're 13 months apart, but we were in the same grade. He stayed back. So he was at an all boys school, I was at an all girls school, and it was turmoil between me and him. From the time my parents started their divorce, me and my brother, he thought if he could be fighting with me, it would make my parents have to talk to each other because he didn't want them divorced. And I didn't really want them divorced. From then on, it was just a rough living in my house. It was rough. And when I actually went from my aunt's back to, I went with my dad, and so did my brother, but we were not in the same household. My brother was in an apartment house off our house where he couldn't be in the house unless my father was home because me and him had a very violent relationship. It was terrible. So to get over that, I started drinking in high school, just drink a little bit here and there. Didn't get drunk. I wouldn't go home drunk. I didn't start until college. I walked into my house drunk for the first time. I didn't drive, but I walked into my house drunk. I left my car downtown and got a ride home and walked in my house. And all I could do was tell dad I didn't drive. But I still was in trouble because I was drunk and I was not legal. I was 17 and legal age was 18. So then I became legal and I drank over the years, but I never let it get really out of control. This is a progressive disease and I've come to realize that now, but it took me a long time. I don't have a hard luck story because I didn't really get in trouble or do anything until 2021. After COVID put me over the top. I started drinking at home alone and I started drinking every day. And I had never done that before. And I was lonely because I live alone. I'm not married, don't have any kids. And it just scared me to death, that all the isolation and loneliness. I would call my friends and talk to them, but most of them have families, and so you could talk 10 minutes and then get off the phone, and I'm on disability, so I'm home 24/7 anyway. And when COVID put all the families at home, they had to get their kids to do school and all that at home. So really, I could talk to them a few minutes, but not really have any contact with the human world. So that put me to drinking pretty heavy, I'd say. And so then I told my doctor I was drinking at home every day, and she kind of said, you need to quit that and all. And then so I stopped, and I stopped cold turkey. COVID lessened up, and I was back to you could go out again. I started going out and was socializing a lot, and I was drinking and driving, which is something nobody needs to do. So I got pulled over and I got a DUI, April 23rd, 2021. So that's what brought me into the rooms. And it actually did not bring me in the rooms right away. It didn't bring me in the rooms until probably 2, 3 months after I got it. But it did put me in, which is a side issue, mental health. It did put me in a mental health, I did go get mental health, which is a side story, so we're going to get off that. But then I came to AA, and once I did, when I got into the Zoom group, I wouldn't talk. I just was real quiet and all. I was stubborn. I would say I was my home group, in-person home group is Tybee Island, Georgia. Zoom home group is Fifth Dimension, and I'm usually here every day in Fifth Dimension. I love all of y'all. In my home group here, what I would say when I taught, I would say, I'm Taz, I'm a newbie. And I said that for like 3 months. And then something happened, and my higher power talked to me. And one day in group, I said, I'm Taz, I'm an alcoholic. And somebody said, did you hear what you just said? And I said, yeah, I'm Taz, I'm an alcoholic. But I did try to restep. I started defending myself. And so I learned. So you've got to have the honesty, the open-mindedness, and the willingness to be here. And it took me 3 months to get it. But when I got it, it was like so much weight was lifted off of me. And I didn't even really realize it. People in my group said, you don't see it, but we see it. And that's where the miracle happens. And if it took me 3 months coming, 4 months coming before I even clicked. So if you're new, please keep coming back. If you're still drinking, you keep coming back. Just don't do it on screen, and please try to stop. I mean, we're here for you. We're here to talk afterwards and all, because it is a disease. You never graduate from this program. I will never graduate from this program. That means it's great. I'll have an A the whole time as long as I don't drink. Then I might go down to a C, but I'm coming back and I'm going for that A. I hope I never relapse, and I don't want any of y'all to relapse either, so don't take it that way. But you need to just keep coming and working the program and reading it. How is honest, openness, and willingness. And then you have your story, and that's, you learn from experience. I have so many tools in my belt from y'all, from what y'all have taught me, because I never drank every day. I never would miss work because of drinking. I never hit a real hard rock bottom. I hit COVID, and COVID hit me. And that really hit me as loneliness, not being able to socialize, not being able to have a conversation with another adult or a kid for that matter. And that really, the isolation and the loneliness is really, and all us alcoholics, I think, go through that. In my opinion, they do, because we feel it when we're drunken at home and passed out. We feel it when we black out. We feel it when and you get up and you can't remember. You feel, and then you're like tracing your steps. I have done that. And it took me a long time to learn. And then when I came into the program, after I got a year, I hit like a brick wall. I was on cloud nine. I was happy as could be and all. But I have a DUI pending, and I haven't been to court yet. And it's been over a year. And so after I got my year sobriety, I told my sponsor, I don't know if I'm an alcoholic or not. And she looked at me and said, go do some controlled drinking. I said, nope, it's not going to happen, because when I go into court, I'm going to be able to stand in front of that judge and tell him I haven't had a drink since May 11th. Even though I got my DUI April 23rd. I drank 2 times after I got my DUI, between April 23rd and when I quit, May 10th. May 11th was my first date I didn't have a drink. I'm going to be able to tell him I haven't had a drink. And she said, okay. And so I'm stubborn. I'm very hard-headed and stubborn. And so that's why I said that to her. And I said, well, I'm scared. I'm worried that I said, I've learned a lot. I know how I do meditation and all. I've learned how to control I haven't craved a drink. I haven't wanted a drink. I craved a drink one time, actually, and I talked about it in the group when my friend died of COVID at 47. I craved a drink that day. I was mad at God, and I craved a drink, but I didn't do it. I got on the phone and talked to people, and that's what you need to do. And so I didn't drink, and that's really the only time I've craved a drink. I've learned how to have so much fun without drinking. You can be in the present. You can remember everything you did. You can have fun and do anything you want to do. And you don't have to worry about, oh, I drank too much, I'm going to bed early and miss half the party because you're over there asleep or passed out. You can enjoy everything. And then, when you get tired, go to bed. You're not missing anything because it's time to go to sleep. You got to accept that and do it. And that's what it took me so long to do. But now that I've done it, I don't think I know, I'm not even going to say I don't think, I know I'm not going to have a drink anymore in my life. And that's what y'all have helped me do and realize. Y'all will know when I get my court date, because it will be advertised on the group, and I will have numbers in my phone ready to dial after I get out of court. Because I've already told my sponsor, if I go to court, I don't know what's going to happen. This will be my first DUI since 1990. I got one in 1990. I got pulled over for speeding, so I got speeding and DUI in 1990 at a young age. And now we're talking 20 years later, I've got my second DUI. That's what I'm scared of, because I'm afraid I'm going to lose my license. I'm afraid, because I don't know. That was before the law was harsh. I got my hand slapped and more or less a fine and walked out the courtroom. Didn't have to worry about driving. I did have to go to DUI school and all that, but it wasn't like it is now. You didn't have to go to MAD, Mothers Against Drunk Drivers, and all that. And you didn't have to do community service. You just got a fine and went out. And now this time, that's why I'm scared to death, because now I've got that label, habitual violator. And I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't want that. I want my record clean. When I go to court, that's when I'm going to make sure I'm back in this I'm here that night. I'm here that day when I get out, because we are worth it. And I could have killed myself. I could have killed somebody else. Then I don't think I would have a life. If I hurt somebody else, an innocent person, I don't think I'd have a life, because that's, hard. So I hope y'all got something out of my story. You don't have to hit a real rock bottom. If you're an alcoholic and drink too much and have a problem and can't put it down and can't not do it, then please keep coming back. Got plenty of people in here that'll give you the number and talk to you. I'll do it. I'll talk to any of you, whether it's female or male. I can talk to you. I cannot sponsor yet, because I will not do that until I get through my DUI, because I want to make sure I get everything handled. My sponsors owe me about that. So I do service, but I will not sponsor until I get all my legal stuff handled, which should be within this year. I hope y'all got something out of that, and thank y'all. And I love all y'all smiles, because that makes me feel even better. So thank y'all for listening, and come back, because it works if you're worth it, and we're all worth it. Thank you.